Okay, this is Bill Apter. I'm in Divine Providence Hospital in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and visiting here with Bruno Sammartino, who's been the victim of a broken neck due to a match against Stan Hansen at Madison Square Garden just about a week ago. Okay, Bruno, first of all, at the beginning of the match, you examined this elbow pad that Hansen had on, which he calls the Lariat, to check and see if there was anything in there. I know you saw there was nothing in there. However, later on in the match, I do believe I saw him load that Lariat with something from his trunks. Now, would you describe what happened from that incident on?
Well, as far as what you said is true, I asked the referee to examine it, and he pulled it off his arm, and I examined it. There's no question there was nothing in there. As far as the damage that later occurred, I didn't see him putting anything in it, but I was already stunned because he scooped me in the air, and when I came down, he dropped me right in the back of my head and my neck, which did quite a bit of damage. But I was able to continue. Now, when he threw me to the ropes, with sometimes it had lapsed there for a while, because he was out of the ring, I guess. When he threw me to the ropes and he hit me with that Lariat, or whatever he calls it, there's no question in my mind that there was something that was in there, because number one, whatever damage I'd done in the neck, I felt an ugly, ugly snap in the back of my head when I received the blow. The doctor and everybody was concerned with the cut on the forehead, but that wasn't the most painful. The pain was in my neck. I knew that I had some kind of serious injury, but I wanted to continue on, but as you know, Bill, they stopped the bout.
Okay, I had never seen Arnold Skolin during the course of a match get up on the ring apron before and call you over. He did, though, after this incident. Do you think that Skolin also sensed something was wrong?
Yeah, he was very suspicious. Skolin, I believe, it warned me that Blassie had left something outside the ring someplace near the corner, and when what's his name, Hansen? When Hansen was out, he called me over right away, and he says, "Be careful." He says, because he may be getting something, he may have something to that effect.
Okay, now, the walk back to the dressing room, Bruno, did you start feeling that pain right away, and where did you feel it?
Well, I felt the pain while I was in the ring. I felt the pain bad, like I say, when he dumped me on the back of my head, okay? From there on, I was fighting hard. I mean, when I say fighting hard, I mean, with what I had in my body, I was trying to give it all out. I don't know how it looked out in the audience, but I heard from some of the people that called me that my action slowed up, but me, I was doing the best with what I had left, let's put it that way. But when I got the last blow, I can tell you that I felt very, very bad, and as I left the ring, it was almost coming by the seconds, the pains, the numbness in my arm and my side and my leg. And by the time I went to my dressing room, and a couple of the boys, Parisi and Danucci, helped me shower. By this time I was in excruciating pain. I had double vision, and they had the ambulance waiting inside the garden to get me to St. Clair Hospital over there. But by the time I got there, I was really, really, really in bad shape, bad pain.
Did you stay at St. Clair Hospital in New York overnight?
Well, after they took some tests and x-rays, they wanted me to stay because they felt that they seen some damage there. But I knew that if I had consented and got checked in there, then it would have been too late. I wouldn't have been able to get out. And my family's here, but my biggest concern, my folks, my father's 85 years old and my mother's almost 80 years of age. And I could just imagine what kind of panic they would have, gone into. So I felt that no matter how bad I felt, I had to get back here to Pittsburgh so that the family would be near, so that they wouldn't be so scared, as to my condition. So I came back to Pittsburgh, and I came right here to the hospital. As soon as Dr. Silvertree saw me, he admitted me in right away.
Is he your personal doctor?
Yes.
Okay, now what was the immediate diagnosis?
The immediate diagnosis was that the sixth vertebrae was cracked, was fractured, was broke.
When you heard that, what went through your mind immediately?
Well, immediately I know a little bit about the body. I know that inside the vertebrae and those little discs in between the vertebrae is your cord, the spinal cord. I know that the spinal cord is a very delicate substance. It's a jelly-like almost, and it can very easily be snapped. So I was curious as to how deep the fracture was, and in fact, if I had done some damage, but when the neurosurgeon checked me, he was convinced that there was no damage to the cord, which was a great relief. But then I just didn't know an injury. I've had injuries before, even in the neck, but never quite like this. So I didn't know what that actually meant. I was very puzzled, confused, and concerned as to what was going to happen to me, So then all the doctors, after they got all through, the neurosurgeon scared me a little because he felt that the injury was severe enough that when I healed, he felt that I would be extreme danger to ever go back to wrestling because another blow could, in fact,
end your career.
Yeah.
Right. Don't know how far it could go.
Yeah, but the orthopedic surgeon, he's the same one who handles all the Pittsburgh Steelers here. He feels that with the size of my neck, the development of the trapezius muscles, and the bone size, he feels that I have enough protection there that I could very well make it go back and not have any trouble. And my good friend and personal physician, Dr. Subitries, he feels that, take your time more or less, but when you're healed, he sees no problem as to why I shouldn't go back.
What about Bruno Sammartino's mental condition now? I mean, you're laying here, laid up really for the first time for this kind of length of time in your career. And what are you thinking about? Are you thinking of, whether I should go back? Does my family want me to go back? What's going through your mind, Bruno?
Well, unfortunately, I know my family does not want me to go back. They've been begging with me not to think of going back. But in the first few days, I was thinking to convince myself that would probably be best not to go back. But now, as I'm improving and improving rapidly, I am more anxious to go back because I do feel that, Bill, that the end doesn't come for me yet in wrestling. I feel that I was in great shape. I felt better than I ever had felt in my life before this accident happened, and I feel that I do have a couple more years, and I don't want to leave the game that I love, that has been so good to me, to leave it before it's time to leave, and I just don't feel that this is the time.
Okay, now let's get into the business of what we can call revenge, okay? Obviously, Stan Hansen and Fred Blassie are delighted at what they've seen now. What will Bruno Sammartino vow now when he gets back in that ring and he can get his hands on Stan Hansen?
Well, at first I really felt no real bitterness because I felt that when you go in that ring, you know what's the dangers and so forth. The little bit of bitterness that has come, let's say, has been the fact that he did put something in that armband to do damage, which tells me right there that he was really out to do whatever damage he possibly could to me. But I think that hasn't even gotten me what you call bitter. What has gotten me kind of bitter is the fact that I'm laying here in this hospital not knowing for a while what was going to happen. And here I'm hearing that the man's been on television, radio, and newspapers and magazines with Blassie boasting about how they retired me, how they crippled me, how they did away with me. That makes me bitter because if they were real men, they would say okay. They would make a big fuss about it, feel that that he was the better man that night if he wants to feel that way. But to boast about having ended my career and this and that, I think that that's what's making me want to get well even more, and giving me more drive and more everything to get better, to get back in the ring with him, because I want to prove to Hansen, as well as all the fans who have been great with me, that Hansen is not going to be the man who's going to retire me. When I retire, it'll be of my own free will and not because of any individual.
Do you want to see Stan Hansen in the same position you're in now?
No, I don't want to see anybody in the position that I'm in right now. But I want to see Hansen in a position to where he's going to either have to be man enough to admit, or at least the people to see, that I was the better man, and I intend to prove that when I'm up and around again.
Bruno, something that a lot of the fans have wondered about and thought about, a wrestler has got no compensation, no kind of insurance. What happens to a man in a position like Bruno Sammartino now that he's got to be laid up and he's really not sure how long?
Well, Bruno Sammartino's a very lucky man because he's been wrestling a long time. He's been a champion for almost 11 years. So Bruno Sammartino has done well enough to protect himself for his future and for things like this. But as you say, wrestlers as well as fighters, and I don't know how many other athletes that are not protected at all, it's a very sad and tragic situation because one who has not been as fortunate as I in becoming a headliner could have an accident like this and be completely wiped out. And no protection of any kind financially.
Knowing that Bruno Sammartino's got such a busy schedule when he's up and around, is this, what's going on right now, kind of driving you up the wall?
Yes, it is. The first few days, no, because I felt so horrible. I felt so sick and so much that I just couldn't do anything but just lay here. But now it's been 7 days that I'm on my back, and now it's getting to be a little too rough. That's why I'm very grateful that the neurosurgeon, along with the orthopedic surgeon and Dr. Sivitries, have gotten together and have built this special brace that I'll be wearing, which will enable me now to be up on my feet without in any way, shape, or form disturbing the neck and the damage, to where I can even go home and recuperate at home. Of course, I'll have to be taking therapy in a nearby medical center, which is near my home. But at least being up on my feet, Bill, it's going to really feel great to be getting out of this bed.
What happens if this happens again? Do you quit?
Well, I think I'll have no choice. I think I'll have no choice but call it quits.
Okay, Bruno, now, one thing that I've noticed here up in your room, and something you should be very proud of, is, hundreds and hundreds of letters from fans, flowers, gifts, and everything. I'm sure you want to say something to the fans that we can print and, publicly thank your fans.
Well, Bill, a little while ago you asked me about my desire to come back, about coming back into wrestling, despite the family feelings and so forth. That is a lot to do with it. When you're laying here and you get the kind of mail that I've been getting and all these other flowers and fruit baskets and the switchboards, I'm sorry to say I can't talk. I couldn't talk to too many people. But the switchboards have been lit up from people calling from all different parts of the country. When I see what they have to say and read their letters, I'll tell you, to know that you're wanted back, as these people have indicated to me and showing their concern and their feelings for me, I just don't feel like I could get away from all that. I just feel like I owe it to those people. If they feel that way about me, that they want to see me back, I just feel that I owe it to them to get well, to come back, and to be around as long as I feel that they feel that they look at me as they do right now. I can't tell you how grateful I really, really am for all of them, because I honestly feel that they are the ones that are helping me recuperate, because they're sure help giving me a stronger will to recuperate, to get out there and be with them again.
Okay, thank you, Bruno. Looks like